the Ati tribe. Ati tribe is the first people to call Panay Island home. Their location is concentrated in the island of Boracay, Panay, and Negros. They are also famous with their festival practices each year, which is the Ati-Atihan Festival. So this Ati tribe are the Negrito ethnic group. Negrito that they were able to spread around the country, such as Aita in Luzon, Batak of Palawan, and the Agta of Sierra Madre, and the Mamanwa of Mindanao. They were called Negritos by the Spaniards because of their dark skin. And do you know that this Ati tribe were believer or practicing animism? Animism is a practice of the Ati tribe which involved in good and evil spirit, which are referred by them as the nature spirit that often guards the rivers, the sea, the sky, and the mountains. But now, because of modernization and the spread of their tribe, Christianity has also been adopted due to less isolation and more contact with the outsiders. The second indigenous people of the Visayas, according to our research, is the Ilonggo tribe or Hiligaynon, which garnered the second largest subgroup of the larger Visayan ethnic group. So this Hiligaynon or the Ilonggo tribe is located in the province of Iloilo. It's quite a large group of population, and Hiligaynon are concentrated in the province of Iloilo in the towns of Ahoy, Kalinog, and Buena Vista. They participated in the general Visayan culture. They have an epic which is called the Hinilawod, which means tales from the mouth of the Halawod River. They occasionally perform this every year. It is a 29,000 verse epic that takes about 3 days to chant in its original form, which make it as one of the longest epics known alongside that of Tibet's epic of King Gezar. So Hiligaynon is referred to as the Ilonggo people or Panyan people whose primary language is Hiligaynon. It is an Austronesian of the Visayas branch native to Panay, Guimaras, and of course, Negros. So over the years, intermigration and intramigration have contributed to the diaspora of the Hiligaynon to the different parts of the Philippines. The third of this ethnic group that belongs to the Visayas region is the Romblomanon, or shall we call Lombron-Manon. So these Lombron-Manon are indigenous people of the Romblon department. They are part of the Visaya sub-ethnic group. Lombromanon numbered 157,398 in the year 2010 and are considered Visayans. They speak one of the three languages. Number 1, the Lombromanon. Second, Asi. And third is the what we call Onhan. Most are Roman Catholic, imagine that. Due to their distance from the Capiz in Aklan, most Lombromanons can speak Hiligaynon. The number 4 is the Mamanwa tribe. Mamanwa tribe is located in the Mindanao, Agusan del Norte province, and of course in Leyte. The Mamanwan dialect is bordered on the north and east by Suriganon, on the west by a mixed vernacular of Surigao and Cebuano, on the southwest by Butuanon, and the southeast by Bislig Kamayo. So Mamanwan is typologically an Austronesian language classified as a member of Visayan language family tree of the southern Philippines. So this tribe, they are nomadic in nature, relying on hunting and gathering to survive and grow minimal crops such as yams and supplements their foraging activities. Number 5 is the Cuyonon tribe, which is considered as an elite class among the natives in Palawan. They are known for their religious devotion, discipline, and a strong sense of community. They are heterogeneous tribe, which means unlike most Philippines homogeneous tribal groups, their ancestor can be traced back to ancient migrants and traders like the Chinese, Arabs, or Muslims, Malay, before Americans and Spaniards. So how did these migrants were able to reach this island? So before, during the Pleistocene age, Palawan was linked to Borneo by land bridges. So the Chinese were known as the early traders and settlers on the island, which were known to have an abundance of kuyo, or shall we call shells. Chinese introduced gold mining and later discovered gold deposits in Mount Aguado. These Chinese ancient migrants also visited Palawan Island, which they called Palauyo, now Palawan.
Good morning. I'm going to talk about Cebuano. Cebuano originated in the province of Cebu, in the region of Central Visayas, but then later spread out to other places in the Philippines, such as Siquijor, Bohol, Negros Oriental, southwestern Leyte, western Samar, Masbate, and large parts of Mindanao. It may also refer to the ethnic group who speak the same language as their native tongue in their parts of the archipelago, often referred to as Sugbuanon, the largest Filipino ethnolinguistic group in the country, numbering roughly 16.5 million in the second decade of the 21st century, and speak an Austronesian, which means Malayo and Polynesian language, and are sometimes grouped with the Hiligaynon and Warai under the generic name of Visayan peoples. The typical Cebuano village consists of bamboo and wooden dwellings. The diet is mainly rice and fish, with some vegetables and fruits. However, ground cornmeal replaces as the staple cereal. Cebuano celebrated Sinulog Festival is the island's notable festivities, which is a mixture of Christian and native cultural elements, celebrated annually every third week of January. Aklanon. Aklanon is from the province of Aklan. They are part of the wider Visayan ethno-linguistic group. They are descendants of the Austronesian-speaking immigrants who came to the Philippines during the Iron Age and got their name from the river Achaean, which means where there is boiling or frothing. Most Aklanons engage in agriculture, while those in coastal areas engage in fishing, courtship songs, or kundiman are well developed by them. Like other Visayans, they have also found their way to Metro Manila, Mindanao, and even United States. Boracay Beach is found in the province of Aklan, and this contributed to the popularity of Aklanons. It is also home to the original Kalibu Santo Niño Ati-Atihan Festival, the dubbed mother of all Philippine festivals. Aklan is part of Panay, a triangular island located in the western part of the Visayas, Central Philippines. It is divided into 4 provinces: Aklan, Antique, Capiz, and Iloilo. Boholano or Bolanon. The people of Bohol are said to be the last descendants of the last group of inhabitants who settled in the Philippines called Pintados or tattooed ones. Boholanos had already a culture of their own, as evidenced by the artifacts dug at Mansasa, Tagbilaran City, and in Dawis and Panglao. Boholano is a dialect of Cebuano that is spoken on the island of Bohol, especially the dialects used in central Bohol, which can be distinguished from other Cebuano dialects by a few phonetic changes. The Y sounds in Cebuano becomes J, and the K sound becomes H. Iya in Cebuano becomes Ija in Bohol, and ako in Cebuano becomes aho in Boholano. They are known for their delicacies such as the calamay, a sweet dessert packaged in coconut shells. Bohol is located in the island of province of Bohol. Magahat. The Magahat are also known as the Antayman and Bukidnon. There are concentrations of Magahats found in southwestern Negros, Santa Catalina, Bayawan, and Siaton in Negros Oriental and in Negros Occidental. Their language is a mixture of Hiligaynon and Cebuano. Magahats practice Sweden agriculture because their settlements are in the mountainous areas. They are food gatherers and good hunters as well. Dantes reported a Magahat population of 2,478 individuals. The Magahats are among the Visayan tribes that has the lowest native speakers, as they are located in the mountainous ranges. The people here practice Sweden agriculture. Magahat is spoken in the Mount Arneo area near Bayawan, Upper Tayaban, Tanhay, Santa Catalina, and Siatan municipalities in the southern Negros Oriental province, located just west of Dumaguete. Thank you.
Porohanon. The Porohanons are a minor Visayan ethnic group. They are located in the central Visayas, specifically the Camotes Islands of Cebu. They are part of the Malay people affinity cluster. They primarily speak Porohanon language and Cebuano as secondary. Even though that both languages are similar, but Porohanon is closer to Hiligaynon language. Numbering with over 45,000, the Porohanons are engaged yet unreached tribe. Their primary religion is Roman Catholic. Warai. The Warais inhabit the whole island of Samar, which they are called Samarenos or Samarnons, and in the northern part of Leyte, which they're called Leitenos. Warai is mostly associated with bravery because they were known to be brave warriors, and they were one of the few tribes that fought with the Spaniards in the 1500s. The Warais are native in Samar, Leyte, and in Biliran. and there are over 2.6 million Warai speakers and are considered the largest Filipino ethnic group, with Warai as their primary language and Cebuano as their second. Botuanon. The Botuanons are part of the wider Visayan ethnic group, but they are one of the smallest tribes. Similar to the Surigao-non, the Botuanons were previously considered Cebuanos. The Botuanons are located in the northeastern of Mindanao, particularly in the provinces of Agusan del Norte and Agusan del Sur. They are considered the descendants of the Austronesian-speaking settlers from South China that came during the Iron Age. The Botswanan language is similar to Cebuano, but even similar to Tausog of Jolo and Kamayo of Bislig. It had more than 30,000 speakers in the 1990, but since then the numbers have decreased. Historians believe that the Botuanons came from the Manabo line in Agusan Valley because during 11th century, the Tausog transferred Botuanon to Solo archipelago.
Sulud Nun, also known as the Panay-Bukidnon, Pan-Ayanon, or Tumandok, are a culturally indigenous Visayan group of people who reside in the Capiz Lambunao mountainous area and the Antique Iloilo mountain area of Panay in the Visayan Islands of the Philippines. The Panay-Bukidnon are known for their Pinanog dance, which mimics the flight of the Philippine eagle, accompanied by an agong ensemble. Another dance of the same name is also performed by the Bukidnon Lumad of Mindanao, suggesting a cultural connection between the people of the Western Visayas and Northern Mindanao in ancient times. Apart from this, they also practice the use of bamboo musical instruments, which they use to express themselves in traditional songs, dances, and epics. They are also known for their detailed embroidery, known as panubok. The heritage of the panubok is celebrated in the Dubkan Fashion Show in Iloilo City. The Sulud are also known for their traditional practices on the mysticism of the Binukot and Nabukot. Currently, the Sulud Panay Bukidnon faces several challenges in their existence, although the local governments of Panay have realized their importance and have begun establishing several projects that help preserve their culture. Masbateno refers to the people who live in the Masbate province of the Philippines, which is part of the Bicol region. They are part of the wider Visayan ethnolinguistic group, who constitute the largest Filipino ethnolinguistic group. Most of the people of Masbate speak Masbateno, language that is closely related to Hiligaynon and Capiznon. However, in various municipalities of the island, various other languages are spoken. In the vicinity of the towns of Katayngan, Palanas, and Dimasalam, most residents speak Waray-Waray. The province of Masbate is known as cattle country. The cattle breed found in the island was taken from the herds in India that have flourished in the benign climate of the island. The province is the second largest supplier of the cattle that is brought to Manila for slaughter. This industry has inspired the establishment of a Rodeo Filipino on the third week of June. This festival features a week-long tournament of bull riding, cattle wrestling, lassoing, calf casting, post driving, carabao racing, and a host of other games. This unique observance is also accompanied by cattle racing contests at trade fair and parades, much like the rodeos in the American West. Abaknon, also known as Inabaknon language. Abaknon Sama, Kapulenyo, Kapul, or Kapul Sinama, is an Austronesian language primarily spoken in the island municipality of Kapul of northern Samar in the eastern Visayas region of the Philippines. Unlike the other indigenous languages of the eastern Visayas, namely Waray, Cebuano, and Boholano, Inabaknon is not classified as part of the Visayan language family, but is rather grouped with the Sama Bajau languages. Inabaknon is spoken on the island of Kapul in the province of northern Samar. According to oral folk history due to their not liking the religion of the Moros who ruled over them. A group of people and their leader, Abak fled Balabak. They sailed until reaching the island. The language is not notable as being the only Sama language to not have had major Arabic influence via Islam. This is Raymond Gino Cabuyao reporting.
So good day everyone. I'm going to tackle about 4 indigenous people in Visayas, namely Hiligaynon, Capiznon, Karay-a, and Isaya. So what type or what kind of ethnic group is Hiligaynon? So Hiligaynon are the smallest ethnic group in Visayas. They are around 30,000 natives, and their language is mainly Kaluyanon, but many speak Hiligaynon as their second language. So according to a recent survey, around 30,000 people speak Kaluyanon, and they are located in the Kaluya Islands of Antique Province in the Western Visayas region. So ang kani si Kaluyanon makita ni sa Kaluya Islands nga naa sa province sa Antique, dapit sa Western Visayas. So next is Capiznon. So Capiznon. So this word derived from Capiz, which is the name of the seashells that are primarily used as square panes for windows. So kibaw naman taning unsa ni si nakadog naman tinataning seashells sa Capiz nga sikat gid sa Capiz dapit. Then mo na siya ang diin gagikan ang word nga Capiznon. So Capiz, seashells nga ilang i-design sa ilahang mga windows, and then non nga nagpasabot og people. So non means people. So they're also known as Capizeños or Capiciños. So ang Capiznon matawag nga Capizeños, matawag po nga Capiciños. So there are notable local figures from Capiz. So mga sikat nga mga tao nga atong nailhan. First is the 5th President of the Philippines, which is Manuel Rojas, and the television host and journalist Cara David. Then next is the actor and director Ricky Davao. So kailan naman tanan nila. Sukat pagbata nakakita naman tanan nila. So next is their language, Capiznon. So ang language ng mga Capiceños or Capiznon is Capiznon, which is part of the Visayan language family. So kani siya nga language is gi-include niya ang Aklanon and Warai words. So mix ni siya. But the younger generations of Capiznon currently use a variation of slower pace and softer, longer vowels like Ilonggo. So muna siya. So ang mga younger generations daw is kanang lahi na ang tinabian ron sa mga younger nga mga Capiceños or Capiznon. Muna nga ang tao nga makadungog nila is ma-mistaken na ang Capiznon nga language as Hiligaynon or Ilonggo. So their primary form of livelihood is agriculture, especially rice production, which is supplemented with vegetables and other crops depending on rainfall requirements for each crop. So they're enterprising, obtaining additional resources from the seas, rivers, and inland fisheries, and that include crabs, oysters, so kanapang laing mga seafood, and especially the Capiz shells. So concept of beauty is unique in that women in their tender age file and order their teeth. So most na ilang culture dito. Ang culture sa mga bae is to file and order their teeth. So ang kagwapa sa babae nagdepende sa ngipon, sa kanindot sa ngipon. The next is men. On the contrary, fashion their long hair wrapped with 4 rounds of cloth known as putong. So most ni ang mga lalaki. So naa sila lahing concept sa beauty, which is ang bae nagdepende sa ngipon, then ang sa mga lalaki tag-as og buhok nga girap sa cloth nga gingan og putong. So also both men and women adorn their bodies with earrings, anklets, and rings. So
Dito na nag-originate sa mga Capiznios ng mga earrings, anklets, and rings. Customarily, pamalayi is a wedding preparation popularized among the coastal and upland areas of Capiz. So, sa mapadagat man sa coastal man or di ba ka sa upland nga sa kuan is ang kani siya na wedding preparation nga gitawag og pamalayi, which is kanang present pud siya sa atong mga Cebuano kanang term nga pamalayi, which is kanang in fact is a wedding preparation. So it is typically the family of the groom present a dowry to the parents of the bride simultaneously. So of course, the groom renders services for several months to the household of the parents of the bride. Towards the end of the services, the parents of the groom return bearing gifts and food to feast on while the wedding preparation was planned. So, kung siya common na kani siya nga culture sa mga Bisaya. So, naasa din dito sa mga taga-Capiz. So, on the other end of the spectrum, so lahi na po burial custom is equally involving, specifically for the more affluent or well-to-do. So whereas an impoverished individual is hurriedly and unceremoniously interred into the earth beneath the house, the corpse of a more prosperous person is bestowed with a more ritualistic approach. So for starters, the deceased is cleaned with alangingi fruit juice and perfumed with sweet gums, while simultaneously laid on a bed of plant, leaves, and roots. However, it is embalmed with a fragrant liquor, after which the body is dried up in the sun. So, most na nilang pamaagi dito, ilahang ibuwad ang patayng lawas sa tao. Kay lahi ang ilang form sa pagbalsamar. So, once the preparation is complete, the body is swathed in silk or other kind of cloth. So, gahuma na to, mukaging na to siya or madry na to ang lawas, ibalot na siya into the cloth. Occasionally, the remains were laid out in finely carved wooden coffin of a superior grade that prominently displayed the figures of a lizard and a bird, which represented the soul leaving the body for a place of magnificence. So, muna siya. Ikaw man ko na to, kaya magbutang ko ng tiki ug langgam para nagpasabot nga murag na free na siya. Naabot na siya sa iyahang place kinasa siya ganahan. Then nagka-Capiznons reside in the western Visayas region, but they also have roots in Rojas City. So kaning mga Capizenios, Capiznon, Capizenios, kanang sila gyud nagit sila sa western Visayas, pero naapod sila ay mga kaliwat adto sa Rojas City, which is part sa, I think, Manila. The next is Karay-a. So, Karay-a is a Visayan ethnic group native to the islands of Panay and Palawan in the Philippines. So, nana siya sa Panay o sa Palawan. So, they speak the Karay-a language, which is also called Kinaray-a o Karay-a. So, from the word Iraya, which means upstream, the Karay-as are a group of people inhabiting the island of Panay and Palawan. Palawan. So the primary source of livelihood is agriculture, and some engage in crafts made of bamboo. So kasagaran gid nilang ilang primary source of livelihood is agriculture, then sideline lang ng uban. So the Karay-a number 363,000 in 2021. So, Karay-a ubay na sila. So, they were first believed to be the descendants of immigrants from Borneo through the epic myth of the 10 Bornean Datus. So, muna yung mga haka-haka ko no. So, recent findings, however, reveal that the ancestors of the Karay-a are the Austrian nation-speaking immigrants who came from South China during the Iron Age. So, na-proclaim na siya. They primarily speak Karay-a. Meanwhile, Hiligaynon, Tagalog, and English are used as second language. So, Karay-a gid ang ilahang language pod. Most are Christians. About 80% are Roman Catholics and the rest are Protestants. Some people belonging to the Suludnon tribe are animists. As of 2015, there are about 1,300,000 Karay-a speakers all over the country. So about 45% from Antique Province, 3% from Iloilo, and 7% in Mindanao, specifically Sultan Kudarat and North Cotabato. So kaning mga Karay-a is all over the country ni siya. So gibana-bana nga 45% nasa Antique. Sa pag 2015 ni siya, 30% nasa Iloilo, then 7% is nasa Mindanao, labaw na sa Sultan Kudarat ug sa North Cotabato. So most Karay-a engage in agriculture as well as in cottage industries. Several towns in Antique have the distinction of producing quality, ranging from Salakot and Sawali from Bilison. So then bamboo craft from San Jose, ceramics from Sibalom, pottery from Bandoha, Tibiao, mats from Pandan and Libertad, and loom woven or patadyong from Bagtason, Bugasong, the only one of its kind of Visayas and well known throughout Panay. So music such as courtship songs, wedding hymns, and funeral recitals is well developed as it is with dance. So lain na sila, mga dances sila para sa Karay-a. So next, let's have So ang kaning Karay-a na locate na sila sa Western Panay, almost entire Antique province. So muna din silingan na din na to. Western half Iloilo province into Western Capiz province, scattered areas along Aklanon province, possibly Mindanao National Capital Region. So tungod kay nagka-scatter sila, dili na gid kay bulungan og makakita kag indigenous people nga Karay-a nga naa sa ato ang palibot. Then next is Isaya. So kani si Isaya mo ni last nako nga i-discuss na indigenous people sa Philippines, and then ang next reporter na din ang sunod. So Isaya, so they have a unique oral history or mythology depending on who you ask, dating back to biblical times. So unique daw ang ilang oral history, which is naman kanang factual. They believe that people originated from a butterfly called Pinya Paypay Pling. So mo na di man na to nga kita ko no is nagikan konta sa butterfly, wata magikan sa unggoy. So mo na siya. So most of pangalan sa butterfly, Pinya Paypay Pling. So take note. So in some way, the butterfly interacted with a lion and lioness who gave birth to a monkey. So ano din na di ay? Basta ang butterfly mag-interact sa lion o sa lioness. Si lioness is magka-baby, so ipanganak kay monkey. Ano siya gawin justisya noon? So next is that monkey mated with another and gave birth to the first human. So kanang monkey is bae ba niya or lalaki? Bae guro kay, because this is depicted in this educational chart from their school. So their written characters are based on parts of the body. So lahi ra gid ang ilahang the way sila nga magsuwat. Then as can be seen in this hand-carved wooden depiction, so both their history and their language are recorded in a series of handwritten volumes. So much of their history is still only passed on orally. So binaba ra ni siya nga pagkapaso at school in their language. The elders in these pictures are among the few who continue to study the language and history. So this man plays traditional folk songs on a ukulele type instrument. So what is left of this tribe's unique culture is passed on through a few schools like this one in the mountains. The as in many rural tribes in the Philippines, the attractions of technology and modernization are drawing young people away from tradition and out of their villages, slowly eroding the local culture. So, do you agree with this kind of statement nga ang mga young people or young generation is na-attract na sa pag-modernize o sa technology sa Philippines? Mo agree mo na? For me, I agree. Why? Because tungod bitaw sa kanang ka-high-tech na sa panahon, ang uban nga dapat preserve nga culture the way na is kanang murag na siya na nawagtang na kay tungod sa social media. Kanang normal ra para na to nga mauna kanang murag wala na gid lahi ra gid sa sauna. So Isaya are located on Bohol, which is an island in the southern Philippines. So according to the last census in 2000, it had a population of around 3,000. So, more to siya. That's all. Thank you.